There are 1,000 roads to Rome, there are 1,000 ways to hit a softball, and not one of them is the only correct way. The main purpose of playing softball is to enjoy yourself. And to help you do that, this tape has brought together 5 hitters and a pitcher to discuss many of the generally accepted better ways to get to the top of the softball world. Our first guest is Bill Gatti, powerful, relentless in the pursuit of perfection, a student of the game. He makes hitting look easy. Rick SCHERR, physically gifted at 6'5" and 290 pounds. The crusher pretty much boils hitting down to practice. Doug Brown, the whip, a bright new star in slow pitch softball, explains his theory of the art of hitting. Doug FLYNN, 11 years, a Major League Baseball player. He is transferring his baseball batting skills to the slow pitch game. Dave Elder, for a change of pace, we'll hear how a pitcher tries to thwart the game's biggest sluggers. Don Ardt, the old master. The name says it all in the matter of slow pitch slugging. Each one will share with us his year-round, a day of game preparation practice, psychological ploys, and a host of other things that go into becoming a top-flight hitter or pitcher. Bill Gatti explains his preparation to beat the enemy.
Okay, first thing I look at is my grip. All right, I line my knuckles up. That's a personal feeling. I also overlap my little finger across the knob of the bat. Grip is the first thing I think is most important on your swing. Okay, lining the knuckles up or getting the wrists over top of one another. All right, the second thing we want to look at is your placement in the box. I personally like to stand at the point of the plate. Okay, that gives me the opportunity to hit a low pitch if the pitcher is throwing a low pitch, to hit it, and also the high pitch. If I don't like it, 9 times out of 10 will be a ball. It'll be over my head. Okay. Once I get in the box, I like to point my right foot at first base, which natural stance will give me an open stance. Okay, there's two purposes for the open stance for my preference. Now, I'm not saying that open stance is best for everyone, but for me, I like it. I've had good success with it. All right, the reasons for that, number one, is to have a straight view at the pitcher. Keep my eye on the ball. That's the number one most important thing when in hitting, is to keep your eye on the ball until contact with the bat. All right, that's the first advantage it gives me. The second advantage, it opens my hips up so that to make sure that I swing, when I swing, that my hips do turn and get into the ball. That's where you get a lot of your power comes from, not only upper body strength, but also the movement of the body weight and your hips turning, similar to a golf swing. Okay. The third thing I think is important is pitch selection. Okay, make sure that you hit your pitch. Now, I personally like a pitch about chest to waist high, and when I swing, I try to catch the ball out in front of the plate. My swing out here, not back here, but you try to catch the ball out in front of me. Okay, and when I've got, at the same time, I've got my wrists turning and my hips turning, my leg drive, my body weight, strength, and everything behind it as I hit that ball. Well, I've had good success with the ball going out of the park if I've got the proper swing on it, if I hit it right. A lot of times you're going to hit the ball flat, which I mean you're going to hit it right in the center of the ball. When that happens, the ball is going to have a tendency not to get any spin, and you're going to get a lot of knuckleballs, which is pretty tough to hit a knuckleball 310 foot. So the ball cuts up a lot in the air and causes it most of the time to drop. But if you get the correct swing, or the correct spin rather, on the ball, it's going to carry it pretty well. Okay?
In this shot, note the way Bill gets his weight back on his right leg with his body facing the pitcher, the arms held high and away from the body. Bill tells of additional benefits of using the open stance. During the sequence, note Bill's eyes. They tell you to which direction he has hit the ball.
I also benefit on having the open stance, not only to see the pitcher, okay, and for your hip movement, it also kind of gives you the opportunity to get your arms out away from your body. I think that's important in a a good, healthy, good, powerful swing out front. Instead of getting your arms tied up inside your body where you don't get full extension, okay, and it hurts you power-wise. You may still hit it out of the ballpark, but instead of getting at 330, 350 distance, you'll maybe only get 310. So you want to get your arms out. It's got a lot to do with your bat speed. Okay? Okay, you can see here where my body's lined up. Your left foot should be pointing out towards the pitcher. Okay, your whole body's turned, facing that pitcher. All right, that's where you get all your power and your bat speed is from turning to the trunk. Okay.
A somewhat slowed down recap shot of what Bill's swing looks like to the pitcher. This, friends, will be an ideal Gatti swing. Bill believes his weight training has been a vital part of his success in softball two ways, physically and psychologically. Now he explains his first exercise, the bench press.
Okay, after 3 sets of warm-up, now I'm going to attempt my fourth set. Fourth, fifth, and sixth set should be 12 reps with a maximum of a weight that you can push with 12 reps. Okay, so I'm going to attempt this now. Make sure it's important that you have a spotter with you.
The bench press gives Bill his psychological edge. The next exercise, the reverse curl, gives him the physical advantage he has over many other players.
Okay, grab the bar. So I use a curl bar, which is a bended bar. Okay, and it's strictly for doing curls. All right, you keep your palms of your hands towards you. All right, and then you bring the bar up to your chest, keeping your elbows in, close to your body, and bring it down slowly. Okay, I think that probably the most important part of this exercise is bringing the weights down slowly, not swinging. Okay, and again, doing the same number of sets, 4 to 6, 4 to 7 sets, and doing 12 to 15 reps with a weight that you can handle. Okay, continue.
We conclude Bill's segment with his explanation of the tricep press, which he stresses is vital to the effectiveness of his swing.
All right, this third exercise that I do is called the tricep press. I think it's probably the one most important exercise that I do for my swing, working the tricep muscle. It's basically the same as the bench press with the exception of a close grip. You put your thumbs together as you grab the bar. You want to do the same amount of sets and the same amount of reps as you can. Once again, it's important to make sure that you have your spotter working with you.
The slugger from Slinger, Wisconsin, that is described as sheer power, an apt description because Rick is graced with tremendous natural strength. Rick's thoughts about hitting practice.
That one there was, people always want to know how to be a home run hitter. First of all, it takes a lot of practice. You can talk to all the other guys on the tape or whatever, anybody that's a big home run hitter. You got to get out and practice. You know, we just don't do this on a weekend job. We do this 7 days a week to keep in the swing of things. So the big thing is look at the pitch that you can hit the best, which is more than likely out over the plate, something that you get good arm extension on. We'll have Don throw up a couple here and try to demonstrate it. A little bit of a short pitch there. Would have been outside. That's why practice pays off, so you can see, get the right judgment of where the pitch is going to be. Unfortunately, most times you're going to hit it better than that. That pitch was a little bit inside. Should probably not even swung at it at all. That's a little better. Inside part of the plate. Main thing you got to do there is you got to get your hips open, which means, you know, not really taking a long stride, but just getting the hip rotation into the ball, which makes it easier to swing the bat, because your hips and everything bring the bat around with it. And still, the big thing is for being a home run hitter is just practice and know, you know, what you can hit.
Note the way Rick will lean into this pitch, really without too much finesse, mostly sheer power. Here is the Crusher's final word on the subject of being a home run hitter.
It just takes a lot of practice, and I think if the guy uses the ability he's got and gets his timing and stuff down and puts everything he's got into it, yeah, anybody can be a home run hitter.
Doug Brown, the most improved long ball hitter in big-time softball, will discuss a variety of subjects, starting with loosening up the muscles prior to a game. He will also touch on many of the areas in which he has improved to the point that he was the MVP in the 1986 USSSA World Series. The following could help you improve your game.
The basics of hitting, you should begin just like you would any other athletic sport. You should loosen up to avoid some type of injury. And it's not necessarily a big game that you loosen up for. If you're just going to warm up and practice hitting, or if you've got a league game, then you should take probably 2 normal weighted bats or a warm-up bat and loosen up pretty good on the side. Once you've concluded this and you feel like, you know, most of your muscles are loose, you're able to start swinging the bat pretty hard. What I do is I'll find my place in the batter's box, which is normally right off the back corner of home plate, usually 1.5 feet off the plate. The reason for that is I don't want to get tied up by pitches that are on the inside part of the plate that I'll still be able to extend on them. And probably make sure that my landing area is going to be pretty level so that I won't, again, the injury factor, so that I won't turn an ankle or hurt myself. As the pitch is coming, what I look for in a pitch, the standard arc normally is right around 8 to 10 feet. Now this is also a good pitch that you can time well. You can see that if it's going to be short, where it's going to be on the plate or in front of the plate, or whether it's going to cross the strike zone. The pitch that I like the best would be from my chest area to my thigh, if preferably on the inside part of the plate. If it's out over the plate, normally with less than a strike, or less than 2 strikes, I'll let it go by. If it's on the inside part of the plate and it's in that area, what I try to do is extend, make my stride, turn my hips to try to be at least open just before impact and extend my bat out in front of the plate so that I make contact with my arms extended and my hands behind the plane of the bat, with the bat forcing the ball toward left or left center. I want my power to be toward left or left center because that's where the bat speed is at its greatest. The bat velocity is what creates distance rather than strength by itself. Strength, if used to enhance velocity for your bat, that would enhance distance. But it's not so much just being able to swing the bat hard and making contact on any pitch. There's a lot of technique involved.
Application of your talent determines whether or not you will be successful in softball or the other aspects of your life. Here are Doug's thoughts on the matter.
Advice that I can give to acquiring the knowledge, chances are if you want to hit home runs, you've already got an ample amount of talent. The most important thing is learning where to make contact with the pitch. If I make contact with a pitch anywhere in my midsection, chances are I'm not going to hit this ball very, very far. The reason, my bat speed is at its greatest in front. So if my bat is at rest here and I begin my swing forward, my step, my hips open, and my bat begins forward, if I make contact here, my bat speed is not very much. I'm going to make contact, and normally you get this effect. You get a pop-up. Or if it's a little bit low, the pitch, maybe it's borderline strike low, and I hit it here, I'm going to be tied up again. My arms are inside, and it's going to be a ground ball. A lot of times hitters, they think that if they get their bat out in front, even if it's a pitch that's already back on them or on the plate, they can make themselves pull the pitch by leaning back. Again, you're losing power, you're not hitting a strike, and you're not hitting it out in front where the point of contact should be the bat speed's greatest force. So what I want to do, if I'm just beginning, I want to get a pitch out in front and maybe take a few practice swings at a few balls and just drive through short. Think about throwing the bat head out in front, not so much muscling up and seeing how hard that I can swing. It's not how hard you swing, it's how well you swing with strength, making contact out in front.
Observe the position of Doug's bat, his arms, and his full body involvement at the point of impact. A postgraduate shot from the whip. Thinking before you enter the batter's box and thinking after you get there are subjects for Doug Flynn.
If I'm going to try to hit the ball out of the ballpark, I'm going to move up on the plate and almost even with the plate with my back foot. I like to cheat anyway, and this gives me a little extra room or maybe another foot, which may determine whether I hit the ball out of the ballpark or not. So I'm going to move up on the inside of the plate and look for a pitch that's either the middle part or in so that I can drive it out of the ballpark. Now, if the umpire's calling a deep strike and I'm standing this close to the plate, then those pitches here are going to be hard for me to hit because I would have to swing the bat and hit the ball up here. So what I'll do is just back up a step or so. Now, when that ball starts dropping behind the plate, then I can catch it in a good swinging zone. Okay, if a pitcher's throwing a real flat pitch, I may want to move up this far in the box because now if the ball is coming with not very much arc on it, I can catch it still in my hitting zone and be up in front of the plate. So there's a lot of determining things, not just when you walk to the plate. You have to have an idea. You really need to know what you're going to try to do before you even step in the box, and that's why the good hitters are so good, because they're patient, they look for a pitch that they can hit, and they also know what they're going to do before they even get into the box.
For every poison, there is an antidote. For all the instruction about hitting, the pitching fraternity has a counter move. How pitchers handle the big hitters is a subject for Dave Elder.
What I try to do, I try to throw them off stride just a little bit. I try to get them to swing just a little early or late, speed the ball up, throw it high arch, or whatever I could do to some type of movement, a hesitation, a jerk behind the back, between the legs, anything that I could possibly just mess them up, look up in the air and throw it or whatever. And what I try, like a real good pitch is, like you wind the thing up, throw it like that, and you try to hurry it up, get the home run hitters out. If they're swinging the bat real quick, what you try to do is quick pitch them. And I've had real good success with it, but a lot of hitters, it doesn't matter what you throw up there, but most of them I can handle, but all the big hitters, they don't. You just try to pitch them down low. If it's USSSA, you can get away with the low pitch an awful lot. ASA, you have to throw the high arch, and most of them, they can rocket it off. I prefer USSSA because you can sort of put on a show and try to distract the hitter.
To know that Don Ardt has played at the highest level of softball for 30 years and has amassed over 5,000 home runs tells you he knows whereof he speaks, as he will do now.
Okay, take that pitch there. You see, I hit the ball. See, it was dropping in up here above my waist. So then all I had to do was just go through the ball. And you probably noticed where I'm standing in the batter's box, I'll keep my back foot to the back corner of the plate. I do that for one purpose. I know most of the pitch that comes in, there's no way they go drop one short and be a strike. So if you stand up here versus standing deep in the box, you go get more pitches above your waist than you would if you step backwards, because you're losing another 2 foot. And see, he could drop it within 6 inches of the plate and it would be a strike. Or if you're deep in the box, you're going to have to lift the ball. See that, and there again, you can tell. See, I got a way out here in front of the plate because it's actually an inside pitch. On an inside pitch, if you go pull it, you've got to hit the ball, say, about 12 inches in front of the plate. Or if it's in the center part, then you go hit more to the pitch or the center field. The outside part, then you would have to hit the right, which there you would have to step with the pitch. And I always stand far enough back from the plate to where, with my arms extended, I'm covering the outside part of the plate, to where you can't sneak one on the outside part, and I couldn't hit it. Okay, see, that was a low pitch, which, see, most time you're not going to hit, say, with consistent power, because most time when you reach that way, you'll pop it up. And there was the same pitch that really, a guy that's just starting in the softball, he wants to lay off of it. Be sure to get the pitch that's a strike. Which a lot of hitters, you get 2 strikes on you, you have no choice. You've got to go after what the pitcher throws.
The old master. We hope this presentation has added to your knowledge about the players who appeared on the tape. For those of you who play the game, we trust that you have added to your knowledge about mastering some of the techniques of hitting and pitching which tend to distinguish one player from another. In 1987, the game of softball became 100 years old. It has grown from an American game to one played throughout the world. In our country, family participation in softball has reached a total of over 40 million players. This is Ray MOLPHY, thanking you for your time this time. And until the next time, so long.